Meg Cabot, When Lightning Strikes, Chapter 5. When I woke up the next morning, I knew two things right away. One, I had not died of a heart attack in the middle of the night. And two, Sean Patrick O'Hana was in Paulet, while Olivia Marie D'Amato was in New Jersey. Well, that's three things, I guess, but the second two are totally random. I mean, who the hell was Sean Patrick O'Hanahan? And how did I know he was in Paulet? Did know the stuff about Olivia Marie D'Amato. Crazy dreams. I'd been having some crazy dreams, that was all. I got up and took another shower since the red mark was still there and I couldn't wear the scoop neck. I decided for clean hair instead. Who knew? Maybe Rob Wilkins would offer me another ride, and when we were at a stop sign or something, he'd turn his head and smell me. It could happen. It wasn't until I was eating breakfast that I realized who Sean Patrick O'Hana and Olivia Marie D'Amato were. They were kids on the back of the milk carton. You know, the missing ones. Only they weren't missing, not anymore, because I knew where they were. You don't think you're actually wearing those jeans to school, do you, Jessica? My mom was always disenchanted with my ensemble, which I had put together very carefully, with Rob Wilkins in mind. Yeah, really, Mike said. What do you think this is, the 80s? Like, I said, you know anything about fashion, science boy. Where's your pocket protector anyway? You cannot, my mother said. Wear those jeans to school, Jessica. You'll shame the family. There's nothing wrong with my jeans, I said. 1-800-WHERE-ARE-YOU was the number that you were supposed to call if you knew where Sean Patrick O'Hanahan or Olivia Marie D'Amato was. I'm not kidding. 1-800-WHERE-ARE-YOU? Cute. Very cute. The knees have given out, my mother went on. There's a hole starting at the crotch. You can't wear those jeans. They're falling apart. That was the point, see? I couldn't expose my chest area, so I decided to go for my knees. I have pretty nice knees. So when I was riding behind Rob Wilkins on his motorcycle, he'd look down and see these totally sexy knees sticking out of my jeans. I'd shaved my legs and everything. I was ready. The one thing I hadn't figured out was how I was going to get a ride home if he didn't ask. Call Ruth, I guess. But Ruth was going to be mad at me if I asked her not to come in the first place. She was bound to be all, why? Who's taking you home? Not that grit, I hope. Ugh, being best friends with someone like Ruth is hard sometimes. Go upstairs and change, young lady, my mom said. No way. My mouth was still full of cereal. What do you mean, no way? You cannot go to school dressed like that. Watch me, I said. My dad came in. My mom went, Joe, look what she's wearing. What? I said, they're just jeans. My dad looked at my jeans, and then he looked at my mom. They're just jeans, Tony, he said. My mom's name is Antonia. Everyone calls her Tony. They're slut jeans, my mother said. She's dressing in slut jeans. It's because she reads that slut magazine. That's what my mom calls Cosmo. It sort of is a slut magazine, but still. She doesn't look like a slut, my dad said. She just looks like what she is. We all looked at him questioning, wondering what I was. Then he went on, a tomboy. Fortunately, at that moment, Ruth honked outside. Okay, I said, getting up, I gotta go. Not in those jeans, you're not, my mom said. I grabbed my flute, my backpack. Bye, I said, and left by the back door. I ran all the way around to the front of the house to meet Ruth, who was waiting in the street in her cabriolet. It was a nice morning, so she had the top down. Nice jeans, she said sarcastically as I climbed into the passenger seat. Just drive, I said. Really? She said, shifting. You don't look like Jennifer Beals or anything. Hey, are you a welder by day and stripper by night, by chance? Yes, I said, but I'm saving all my money to pay for ballet school. We were almost to school when Ruth asked suddenly, Hey, what's with you? You haven't been this quiet since Douglas tried to, I shook myself. I hadn't been aware of my vegetating, but that's exactly what I've done. The thing was, I couldn't get this picture of Sean Patrick O'Hanahan out of my head. He was older in my dream than the picture on the milk carton. Maybe he was one of the kids who had been kidnapped a long time ago. He didn't remember his real family. Then again, maybe it had just been a dream. Huh? I said, I don't know. I was just thinking is all. That's a first. Ruth said. She pulled into the student parking lot. Hey, do you want to walk me home again tonight? I'll have Skip drop me off again at 4, like when you get out of detention. You know, I weighed myself this morning and I already lost a pound. I think she probably lost a pound from not eating any dinner the night before, being way too busy staring dreamily at Mike to consume anything. But all I said was, sure, I guess. Except what? Well, you know how I feel about motorcycles. Ruth looked heavenward. Not Rob Wilkins again. Yes, Rob Wilkins again. I can't help it, Ruth. He's got that really I don't want to hear it, said Ruth, holding up her hand. Indian, I finished. What do you think I was going to say? I don't know. Ruth pushed a button, and the roof started going up. Some of those grits wear pretty tight jeans. Gross, I said, as if it had never occurred to me. Really, Ruth? She undid her seatbelt primly. Well, it's not like I'm blind or anything. Look, I said, if he offers me a ride, I'm taking it. It's your life, Ruth said, but don't expect me to sit on the phone waiting for you to call if he doesn't ask. If he doesn't ask, I said, I'll just call my mom. Fine, Ruth said. She sounded mad. What? Nothing. No, not nothing. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. Ruth got out of the car. God, you're such a weirdo. Ruth is always calling me a weirdo, so I didn't take offense. I don't think she even means anything by it anymore. Anything much, anyway. I got out of the car, too. It was a beautiful day. The skies a robin egg blue overhead, the temperature hovering around 60, and it was only 8 in the morning. The afternoon would probably be roasting. Not the kind of day to spend indoors, the perfect kind to ride in a convertible, or even better, the back of a bike. Which reminded me, Pale was only about 20 minutes from where I was standing. It was the next town over, actually. I couldn't help wondering about how Ruth, or Rob Wilkins, would feel about taking a little trip over there after detention. You know, just to check it out. I wouldn't tell either of them about my dream or anything, but I'm pretty sure I knew exactly where that little brick house was, even though I was equally sure I'd never been there before. Which was the main reason, actually, that I wanted to check it out. I mean, who goes around having dreams about kids on the back of milk cartons? Not that my ordinary dreams were all that exciting, just the usual ones about showing up to school naked or sucking face with Brendan Fraser. Hello? I blinked. Ruth was standing in front of me, waving a hand in my face. God, she said, putting her hand down. What's the matter with you? Are you sure you're all right? Fine, I said automatically. And the funny thing was, I really thought I was fine. Then